Hey guys, it's the Pantry Party Show with your host at DJ Blattner. Today we have a very special guest. Dana_Angelo_White is going to come and teach us about healthy one-pan dinners. That sounds perfect for what I'm looking for. So, you ready to get this party started? I know I am. The Pantry Party Show starts right now. Hey guys! What? I'm so excited. This is going to be an exciting episode, and here's why. I need easy. I know we're all in that boat too, right? It's like I've got a lot of recipes, but I'm especially looking for easy. So when I saw on Instagram that at Dana_Angelo_White had a new book coming out, and her book was called Healthy One-Pan Dinners, I was like, girl, we got to get her on the Pantry Party Show. This is exactly the kind of content that we need. So, without further ado, let's get her in and get ready to give her a warm Pantry Party welcome, okay? Here we go, girl. Oh, hold, please. I got to tap a little lighter. I got to get ready. Oh, my gosh. Hey! Nice to see you. Your backdrop is so lovely and fresh.
Thank you. Well, those flowers were a Mother's Day gift from my mom that she sent to me that's been kind of brightening up my kitchen.
Gorgeous.
So she gets all the credit for that. But yeah, this is where I roll. This is my home kitchen.
It's beautiful. It's bright. Are you using a light or is that natural light?
This is actually the natural light I get this time of day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the light set up and I was like, wait, I don't need them.
No. Yeah, actually, usually I have fabulous light right now. I'm like usually in front of a window with light, but it's dreary and rainy. And so anyway, so I put on the good vibe sign below or above or whatever that would be for you. And the big thing that I would like to say is when I was getting dressed today, I was like, what should I wear for at Dana_Angelo_White? And I was like, here's what I'm going to do. You are part culinary genius, but you're also part sporty spice. So I wore like a little bedazzle, but also a little sporty spice for you.
I love that. And see, I went glam for you, right? So you were my excuse today to put on earrings, put on a shirt that does that. Like I'm not wearing a sports bra today, like in your honor. So we're right here. I love it.
Oh, I love that. Well, hey, I mean, in all seriousness, in addition to being an expert for the Food Network, because I've seen you write for them for years now, right?
Yeah, I've been with them for over a decade, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that crazy how that happens? It happens, and all of a sudden you're like, this has been 10 years. So yeah, I've known you've been with the Food Network forever. I knew you had some sports angle that, like, when I've looked you up before, it's like, sports dietitian, culinary nutritionist, but I had no idea that you had so many books.
It is. I'm very blessed because, like a lot of dietitians, I get to do all kinds of things. I wear all kinds of hats. But yeah, I started out my career in sports medicine. So I started out as an athletic trainer. Nutrition was kind of on my radar, but only really focused in the sports medicine world. But I loved it, and I realized that I was working with athletes, and I had no idea how to answer their questions about nutrition. So, athletic training is what brought me to nutrition. So I went to grad school, New York City, went to Columbia to Teachers College, and got my kind of always thinking, I'm going to do sports nutrition. Like I want to, just use this to help with my athletic training. But then I kind of fell in love with all of the things that nutrition has to offer, right? I always loved to cook. The whole culinary thing was kind of an accident, but such a good one because I was really able to take my love of cooking and then hone my skills with nutrition. And then Food Network came along and, really 10 years later, it's been this awesome ride where I get to still work with my athletes and help them with sports nutrition. But then I've been writing these cookbooks and really, getting my hands dirty in the kitchen all the time, which is what I love.
I did not know that about you and athletic training. So like when I see, I feel like a lot of dietitians have some sort of sports, maybe exercise, fitness interest, but that's actually where you started.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh
And it's great because now I work at a Division I university and I still work with athletes, and that's my clinical piece, right? So that's where I get to work one-on-one with athletes, and any dietitian knows that works with athletes, it's like a whole special animal of themselves. But I love that idea. I love working in athletics. I love the excitement of it. So now things are a little different for the moment, but I'm doing Zoom cooking classes with my athletic teams, and trying to keep in touch with them while we're operating in this virtual space for the moment.
Wow. And so I didn't know that you are really still actively a dietitian at a university.
Yes. So at Quinnipiac University, which is in Connecticut where I live, go Bobcats, right? So we're a small Division I school. We have some really, awesome competitive teams within like the MAC and the Big East or the conferences that we participate in. So I'm there, and I also work as a faculty member there. So I spend a lot of time during the academic year teaching and working with the athletes there. It's awesome.
Are you teaching like nutrition classes or exercise classes?
So yeah, I teach. I'm a part of the faculty in the athletic training program. So I get to teach kind of up and coming athletic trainers about sports nutrition. And then we have a medical school at Quinnipiac, so I do some moonlighting over in the medical school. So I kind of teach. I'm the only full-time RD that as a faculty member at the university. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm housed in the School of Athletic Training.
Wow, you got a compliment that you look beautiful and that you are missed. I am asking this question. Are you a mean teacher? What kind of teacher are you?
No, I'm not a mean teacher. If you ask, am I a mean mommy? Ask my kids, they might give you a different answer. But no, I think I'm fair. I try to be fair. I try to be fun because nobody wants to not have fun in class. But I also think I kind of have an advantage because people, if somebody has to take a nutrition class, like most of my students have to take the class that I'm teaching. But everyone kind of has a personal interest in nutrition, I think, to some degree. So I think I'm lucky in that regard because I kind of get a captive audience right from the beginning. And I always try to incorporate cooking into my classes, which is always a big hit. So, with my athletic training students, we have a smoothie lab once a semester. I make it like a competition, and it's like Chopped basically, right? And they dig it. They totally get into it. So I try to make it fun. So I'm sure you might find a former student or two that might think I'm mean, but I try to be fun. That's my goal.
That's so creative. I love the smoothie lab is huge because I'll tell you, I was the nutritionist for the Cubs for 10 years, like a decade. And how I finally got in with them, right, is this having a fabulous, fun, crazy fuel station / smoothie bar, like beyond, a Jamba Juice kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's a very smart move. Like, that's a very creative class. I love that. So how many kids do you have? You mentioned Mother's Day.
I have 3 daughters.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Then help.
Full of estrogen. Oh my gosh.
There's so much. My dog is a female. My husband is completely outnumbered. But yeah, so I have 3 young daughters. My oldest is 10. My youngest is 4, and I got an 8-year-old in the middle.
Wow. 4, 8, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's a house full.
It is. There's a lot of energy going on, and we have no place to go right now. So yeah. It's been really fun. We have our moments though.
Oh, I can imagine. So are you doing all like the homeschooling and all that kind of stuff?
Oh my God. I have learned through this that I have a lot more patience for my students, my college students, than I do for my own children when it comes to academics.
Yeah.
I am not good at geometry at all.
I can imagine.
That has been a problem. Yeah, but we're in the trenches of all of this. It's really, I had respect for elementary school teachers before. It was probably at like an 8. Now it's at a 10. My appreciation of them, but yeah, we're trying to make it work.
Wow. Now, are they a lot of your like taste testers when it comes to all these books that you've written? And do you do most of your testing right there in that beautiful kitchen?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So this is where it happens. A lot of the times I try to coordinate when I can that I work on books in the summer when I'm not teaching. And so then the kids are off from school and when they're not at camp, and I love it because I get to spend more time with them in the summer, but that's usually like grind time for cookbooks. So they come home and it's try this, or the fridge is filled with all kinds of weird, what is that, mommy? And they're brutally honest. So that's actually helpful. So yeah, they're not just blowing sunshine telling me that everything is delicious. So, there's some fierce critiques that I get from them.
I truly, 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 I think people who do their own testing on recipes with their own family, have ranges of kids with that honest feedback, are the best cookbooks around. So this is going to be your fifth cookbook is coming out, and it is called Healthy One Pan Dinners. Who can argue with that? Like literally, everybody has to be into this. You know what I mean? It's such a great concept. Is this so far even your favorite one to work on, or do you have, of your others, do you have other favorites too?
I think it really might be my favorite.
Ball.
I love them all for different reasons, I think. I love that.
Yeah. Congratulations on your book. You know what? Catherine just gave me, I claim to be this professional host, but like if I'm going to say somebody has a new book and not bring out a disco ball, it's like shame on me. Girl, congratulations on all the books.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it is. It's like having another baby when the book comes out, right? And this is actually the first interview that I have given so far to promote it.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes,
Party first.
Yes, this was it. This was the debut. This is the red carpet premiere. I'm very excited about it. It truly is, a compilation. Like, this is how we dinner in my house, truthfully. I try to keep the dishes minimal. I did have to stretch myself to make sure that all of the recipes in this book adhered to one pan only, which was a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but it kind of forced me to be creative. But that's really important to me. Having dinner with my family as often as possible, all together, really is like one of the only times that we're all together. It doesn't always happen, right? There's COVID notwithstanding, but when there's athletics practices going on, I'm working late or I'm traveling. I try to make dinner a priority as much as we can. And so this book is kind of like, an ode to that and the fun recipes, because at the same time, it's got to be easy. It's got to be, it's got to be quick. I don't have time. I'm not spending, 6 hours in the kitchen every night for dinner. I don't have time.
Can I just give you a preach? Like, preach. Girl, it is so true. Because the thing is it's like, cooking is one thing, but like, let's be honest, like the cleanup and the drama around it is a whole nother stressor. And it's like, and then add 3 kids to it and different palettes and all sorts of stuff, right? It's like, it makes it less fun. So what I think is so great is not only is it easy, it seems like it would be so much more fun to cook like this. So, in all of the recipes, because there's like 100 recipes in this book, right?
There's quite a few. Yeah. So the chapters are organized by the different one pan cooking vessels, but you total it up and it's 100 recipes.
Wow. And so what is a one pan cooking vessel?
Vessel makes it sound a little like nautical, but like, sorry. So I actually put them out here for us, right?
Oh,
so you
cool.
can see them. So I had them all set up. So cast iron skillet is one of them. And I have a recipe
I love
to share.
A skillet meal.
Yep.
Oh, girl, I love a skillet meal.
That might be my favorite. It might be my favorite. And then I have Dutch oven, sheet pan, your old school casserole dish, like the original one pan dinner, method. And then there is a chapter on slow cookers or multi cookers, right? So I wrote an Instant Pot cookbook a few years back, and it has a slow cooker. So I actually still keep my slow cooker around, even though the Instant Pot has a slow cooker function. So there's one chapter that's dedicated to kind of 50-50 slow cooker recipes, and then Instant Pot or pressure cooker recipes.
Okay, so here's what I know. I know a skillet, love a skillet meal. I know a sheet pan, love a sheet pan meal. Old fashioned like casserole type thing you showed, yes. I don't do as much with a slow cooker kind of thing, but okay, cool. I really don't know what the heck a Dutch oven is. I mean, honestly, what is this? What is a Dutch oven?
It is basically a really heavy pan. Here, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, show me it. I didn't even know what it was. Oh,
this guy. So these are like, this is like my La Crusade that I had since my wedding forever. It weighs like a solid 15 pounds. But they're made out of cast iron. And typically, right? And what kind of sets them apart, the kind of oven idea of it, is that they're great because they can go from stovetop to oven. Okay, that's what I like doing with them. But that tight fitting lid retains heat like bananas, right?
So that's what makes it different than like, because you had on your lineup, you had a white pot with like a lid on it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was my Dutch oven.
Oh, wait,
yeah,
let me see the lineup again. Let me see the lineup again. I think I got confused. Okay.
All right, so make sure you can see here. So I got my Instant Pot and my sheet pan. I'm just kind of stacking things up here. Okay. So here's my Dutch oven.
Oh, okay. I thought it like a casserole type dish thing. Like, I didn't see that one in the back.
Yeah. So, and you know what? So that's just my old school like Pyrex glass 9x13. Right. So that one too, I like because it has a lid on it. Like I recommend if you can get one with a cover for like leftovers or like a potluck or something, that works really well. But what the Dutch oven kind of brings to the party here is that, again, if we're sticking to one pot here, right? So if I want to make a casserole, like a pasta casserole, right? Say I want to make, there's like, you know, if I want to make baked ziti, right? Or if I want to do like a tuna casserole, there's one of those in like a revamped tuna casserole in the book. If I'm boiling pasta in one pot and then I'm baking it in a casserole dish, that's two. So that doesn't work. Right?
Because I was like, wait a second. If I was doing a casserole, I would have taken that like old school Pyrex thing that you had, but that would be a violation of the rules because I would have to have cooked the stuff in a pot otherwise. Interesting. Okay, so wait, I'm doing a quiz on my own memory. Okay, so it is a skillet, which I love. It is like that old school sort of casserole Pyrex thing.
The baking dish.
Yeah, what do you call it?
Like a baking dish.
Yeah, baking dish. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you've got a sheet pan. Then you've got the Dutch oven, like tight fitting lid casserole cast iron thing. And then you've got the slow cooker.
Right, or the Instant Pot, right? The slow cooker or the like pressure cooker, multi-cooker, whatever you want to call it, right?
Okay, good. Because, you know, every once in a while, I do like to test the memory because it's like I put so many things on Post-it notes everywhere that I sort of start forgetting things. I'm like, no, I'm going to do a memory game right now in public to see if I can.
That was good.
That's how you have
me, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how you have the book organized. So it's like whatever the type of cooking pan or pot or whatever, and then you go and you find the recipes. So is there one that you just are thinking is perfect to share today on the Pantry Party Show that you just love?
Yes. And I'm going to, I'm saving it, right? So it's ready to go on my blog. It's gonna go up on Instagram, but not until after. So it's, again, the unveiling is for you.
I love you.
So, you know, I was so excited. And it was actually, thank you, because I already made dinner tonight because I made this so that I could show you. And now my kids, they went for a walk. We live by the beach. They went to the beach and they come back and they're like, why did you make dinner already? And I was like, because I'm having a pantry party, okay?
Obviously.
Okay, so we'll try to get you an angle here again. So this is it's a cast iron skillet, right? And this is a pesto turkey meatball and orzo dish.
Wow, you got me at meatballs. Anything meatballs, I love that. But I love how it's not, you know, every time I hear a meatball, you always think of like a red sauce with it. I love that it's like a pesto-esque version. Okay, so how in the world do you make that in just one pan?
All right, so here we go. So and it's in a few simple steps. I think the recipe really has about 4 steps in it. Wow. And so you make the meatballs, right? And again, that's just, you know, some ground meat, and then I start pulling my pantry staples. So there's some panko breadcrumbs in there. And then I keep pesto stockpiled in my freezer. That's how I roll, and I'll show you.
Smart.
I keep a little bag of it. It's kind of mangled at this point, but see, I have my pesto, and I freeze it, and then I just break off chunks of it as I need it. You can totally buy store-bought pesto too.
That's a mind blow. Whoa. Like, I love the breaking off chunks of it is so my style. It's like, you know how whenever I read, people are like, freeze it in perfect ice cubes or whatever. I'm like, yeah. I love that you just pour it in a bag and break off pieces. Girl, you're my girl.
Yeah, well, because you know what, like, is there really such thing as too much pesto? It's like, oh, I put too much pesto in there. Like, I've never said that. I've never worried about that. So, yeah, and I use the pesto twice, right? So I put a little bit of pesto into the meatball mixture, right? The turkey, the ground turkey. And then I save a little bit of it that's going to go into the rest of the dish when we get to that point, right?
Okay.
But this is it. So here are my steps. I throw in my ingredients. I roll up my meatballs, okay?
Okay.
I pop them in the skillet in a little bit of olive oil and just get them browned, okay?
Okay.
Then you just basically layer in the rest of it. So then I'm going to saute some onions in there. I do take the meatballs out and just set them aside for a couple of minutes because I want to caramelize my onions a little bit. So then I put in some onions right back into the skillet, right? I don't wipe it out or clean it. I want all the goodness at the bottom there, right? I put some onions in there. I put the rest of my pesto. Then I put in some orzo pasta, right? So again, this is like a no boil dish. Again, with the pasta, if I'm boiling in another pan, I'm cheating, right? So I add some orzo and let it just toast up a little bit, kind of like you would if you were making risotto.
Okay. This is, just so you know, it's shocking to me. Okay, we're doing healthy one pan dinners. It's shocking to me to even think about putting orzo just like dry in a skillet like this. This is already crazy.
And I honestly was like, would this work? Like when I was developing the recipe, I'm like, it seems like this would work, you know, and truthfully, it kind of came out better than I expected. Because then really at that point, you're going to put the meatballs back in. You're going to I added chicken stock. You could add vegetable broth if you wanted to. Again, which is something that I rather have in my pantry, in the boxes, or I have in my freezer. If I ever make a batch of it at home, I always have some hanging around. And then that's it. And then I put a little bit of broccoli on the top. And I don't stick it in there. Like I just kind of leave it so it can kind of like steam over the top. Cover it. 10 minutes. Done. Orzo's cooked. Meatballs cooked. Broccoli's done. That's it.
Okay, that is crazy talk. Do you cover it with just like a piece of foil, or like what do you cover it with?
So I actually take like one of the lids from one of my other like soup pots and do it right, because the cast iron doesn't come with it. Whatever lid will cover the most of it, but foil would totally work too. You just want to let, you know, because basically you're just going to simmer everything in there, and it's going to, the orzo is going to absorb all that deliciousness and the chicken stock, and that, it's fun. I'm not going to lie. Now, it's one of my favorite recipes.
Oh, this is crazy. Did you said you cooked it on the stovetop, or were you saying in the oven? I forgot.
This I just do on the stovetop because you cover it, and again, cast iron cooks so evenly and beautifully. So you just leave it. I usually in the recipe the step says you once you add the liquid, bring it to a boil, right? Crank the heat all the way down, because once that pot gets once that skillet is hot, like you're pretty good. Lower it to, I put it on all the way down to low, cover it, and then in about 10-12 minutes, everything is done.
That is so cool, because then I'm thinking, I pull the lid off. I've got orzo that went in dry, that now soaked up the liquid. I have meatballs in there. Can I see it again? And the broccoli is steamed. You guys, look at this. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to get my angle right for you.
Yeah, wait, a little bit more. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. That is gorgeous. I can't believe it. I can't believe that works in one pan.
Right? And Dawn, I think that's the thing. I think that a lot of people get intimidated by dinner. They think, I mean, like this looks way harder than it is. It really
Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I saw you show that at the beginning, I'm like, how's she going to talk us through this? Like, how this seems like this is like, you know, I got to make the meatballs. I got to figure out how to make the broccoli. There's like something at the base that I got to figure out how to cook. It's like, oh my gosh. No, you make it so easy. The steps that you created make it so easy.
And thank you. And but again, like this is truly like how I operate. It's how a lot of people operate. Like I don't have the time. So I want the recipes to be delicious, and I want them to be good for everybody, but it's most important to me that they taste good, and that nobody's wasting hours getting angry in the kitchen and feeling bitter about not being somewhere else, right, where they want to be. You can even meal prep this. A lot of the recipes in the book, again, because that's kind of how I operate. If there's a make ahead option, right? So like, I knew that I was going to be sharing this with you today. So I made the meatballs last night. I didn't even cook them. I just combined everything. I left them in the fridge. I chopped up my onion, because that's literally the only chopping that this recipe requires. And it saved me, maybe 5-6 minutes today. But again, like for, a busy weeknight or something like that, that can be really valuable time. So, all of the recipes, you know, when I have a tip or a trick that I use for meal prep, or all the recipes in the book are coded for which ones are like freezer friendly, or again, like, you know, vegetarian, gluten-free, and some of those things as well. But like any recipe that freezes really well, I made sure to make a note of it, because I feel like that's another really kind of nice advantage that people, you know, might want, rather if it's the leftovers or if they want to make something ahead.
You know what? That is such, I mean, talk about somebody who really gets it and lives it. Like you, obviously you really live this, because of all the, I mean, I have read so many cookbooks, right? I don't know if I recall ever seeing an actual denotation of like freezes well. You know, I've seen, you know, even in all my books, it's like gluten-free, you know, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, whatever, those call-outs. But like the call-outs of like real stuff, like prep ahead and freezer friendly, like that is really, I mean, genius.
Thank you. Thanks. But I feel like that's kind of how everybody, like, meal prep is so huge right now, right? The whole concept of meal prep. But again, I think it's now, it becomes really popular, and then I think people get like intimidated by it, right? They're like, oh, I don't meal prep perfectly. You know, it's like, you don't have to, but if you can, you know, offer up some tricks to save some time, then, you know, then you're meal prepping, like that, then you're doing it, you know? And so, yeah, I think, thank you for saying that, because I am very proud of this, in the sense that these really are recipes that, you know, I'm making all the time, or, you know, variations of things of the tips and tricks that I was really excited to share with everybody.
I love it. I want to see the cover. I put a cover in my post today about it, because the cover is gorgeous. Do you have the book right there?
I don't have it yet.
Oh, you don't have it yet?
No, and like, so that's the thing. So my publisher has been, I'm with Penguin Random House and with DK Books under and they're awesome to me. I've done this is my 5th book with them, and they're so good to me. But I was like, where are my books? And they said that they're coming, and they promised that I'm gonna get them. So the book comes out June 9th.
Yes, I know we're talking about it ahead of time. Like, it's available for pre-sale, because I already went to Amazon and I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness it's available for pre-sale.
Yep. It's up there, and June 9th, but by now I would usually have my copy my baby, right? I would have it, but I don't have it yet. So everyone's gonna have to go back to your post and take a look at the cover, because I almost like photocopied like a printed out to be like, here, you know, but it's not true. The same. It's coming.
I will say, yeah, go to my post, the static post about today, and then flip to the second picture, and even the third picture is a cool sort of, I don't know, resource that you gave me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to post this. It's so cool. What is that resource you gave me?
So that was just, you know, I think I try to, it's important to me in cookbooks that the intro copy be like valuable.
Yes.
You know, and because I think a lot of times the author wants to pour their heart out in there, but like people might not be all that interested in reading it. So I try to come up with like tables and charts and things that are kind of quick, easy takeaways. And so I made these lists. I like lists.
Me too.
And I think, yeah, the dietitians like lists. So I made lists of some of the things that, like, you know, kitchen must-haves, right? So, you know, when, you know, your pantry, your fridge, like, you know, if you're talking about, you know, healthy one-pot meals, what do you want to have around? Right. And I kind of spent time thinking about all the 100 recipes as a whole, and said, like, what am I using a lot of? Like, what do you see a lot of? Right. So you know, like in this recipe, you see a decent amount of, you know, there's some chicken, you know, chicken broths, chicken stocks kind of scattered throughout. Right. So that's something that I always have around. Canned tomatoes, right? Another pantry staple. Like I tend to, most of my recipes, I use diced tomatoes or crushed tomatoes. So again, just kind of pointing that out. You know, the oils that I use, most of the recipe, I tend to cook mostly with like a canola oil or an olive oil, right? Depending on the recipe. My favorite spices, right? That's a hard one. But again, I tried to, so like I said, I picked like turmeric, cumin, smoked paprika, right? Because those are ones that, again, I really like, and you see them kind of scattered throughout the recipes in the book. So it's just kind of my hit list.
I love that term. It is, because it's great. So in addition to seeing the cover, her beautiful cover of her book on my post is the second picture in the carousel. The third picture is this awesome hit list of things to like keep stocked in your kitchen and pantry. I thought it was just so well thought out and truly basic, because it's like, you know, I get a lot of lists and it's like, well, oh my God, those things are like obscure, you know, but this is like, oh my gosh, like yeah, this is like the real go-to hit list. It's so well thought out. You can tell that you live this. I just love it. I can't thank you enough for red carpeting your brand new book that is available for pre-sale now, called Healthy One-Pan Dinners. I am so excited about it for you. I can imagine just everybody wanting it, especially now.
I hope so. Yeah, and I think, somebody at my publisher was like, this is really good timing because people aren't going anywhere, and as much as that's upset, but I think this has really sparked people's creativity to cook more in one aspect, right? But in the other aspect, like they're like, I think one pan meals would hopefully be appealing, because again, it doesn't mean that, you don't want that convenience and you don't want to save some time on some healthy meals. So yeah, I'm hoping that it will be that everybody will take something away from it.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So tell me this. If people want more of @Dana_Angelo_White, if they want more of you, what should they do? Where should they go?
Okay. So more of me. Gosh. Anybody, I know people around here want less of me, but yes. So more of me, definitely on Instagram. I'm always posting my weeknight dinners and kind of what I'm working on and creating. I have a lot of fun with that. My blog is danawhitenutrition.com. And this recipe will be up on Instagram and on danawhitenutrition.com today. And follow the Healthy Eats blog on Food Network. Foodnetwork.com. Myself and Toby Amador, the wonderful Toby Amador, she and I have been there kind of grinding at Food Network forever together, and that's where we've been creating some really fun articles lately to share with our audience. So definitely check out healthyeats.com or go to Food Network Healthy Eating tab.
Oh, girl, I love you. Thank you for making that beautiful prop too today, because now I am so much more likely to now want to go make that skillet, because it's like, it looks gorgeous. So thank you so much for being just a beautiful, amazing, talented, genius guest in the Pantry Party Show today.
Dawn, this was awesome. Thank you for kicking off my launch of this book. It was so much fun to do it with you. I really appreciate it. And I hope when this is all over, we can get together.
I love that. Thank you, babe. And good luck. Congratulations.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. That was another fabulous episode of the Pantry Party Show with @Dana_Angelo_White, announcing for the first time, she did her first debut of her new book coming out called Healthy One-Pan Dinners. It's available for pre-sale on Amazon right now. Check her Instagram out because she is going to be posting today's recipe, but she talked us through it, and it seemed so easy and so great, and a quick balanced meal right in one skillet. Love that. Hey, tomorrow, it's Friday. It's going to be another very exciting sort of early happy hour here at the Pantry Party Show. So make sure you set your alarm, put your calendars to noon Central Time for the Pantry Party Show tomorrow. And until next time, sending you high immunity vibes, big love, and lots of kisses.